game on a CD or a DVD, it goes out. So there's very few chances for you to actually redeem yourself if you made some mistakes. You make a mistake, it has to be caught by the testers, and you have to make sure as a programmer that you've fixed everything. Because if the game goes out and there is a bug in a game, people are going to start shouting. So testing is very, very crucial in games. So you have the testing team usually is half of the entire team in the entire company. Then you have the managers or the producers. These are the people who will manage all the different teams, make sure that milestones are met, timely manner, are all the features complete or not, talk to everyone, making sure the whole team functions properly. Then I'd also like to make a special mention for the crossovers, as I like to call them. These are people who have a base idea of one aspect, but also know quite a bit of another aspect. So technical artists, very, very crucial. They're very rare. But if you are a technical artist, or if you want to go into that side, it is a very, very important role in a team. Reason is, you not only understand the art side, that okay, itna acha banana hai game, fine, it has to look very, very nice, but if you understand the programmer side ke boss memory itna nahi hai, you have only so much memory remaining. So how can I design the art so that it fits into such a small amount of memory? Somebody who understands art as well as the technical side. Similarly, team leads, usually once you start progressing, if you are a programmer, then you have to start managing. So you have to start interacting with people. This is not like a lot of programmers just sit in front of a computer and you're there. But when you have to start interacting with people, a lot of people can't handle it. Fights, ego hassles, all of that happens. So this kind of a role where you break away from your original role and try and learn something about a different kind of role makes you very, very valuable in a company. Okay, so let's analyze a game. Okay, from a game development perspective. You have a game. There are two phases, very, very basic, broad phases. One is the content creation phase, where you actually create content for the game. So this is when you have your artists or designers, everyone is creating content, character banaya, level banaya, whatever. You use tools like Maya, Max, Photoshop, sound, game design data needs to be defined either in an Excel sheet or somewhere. All of that then is transferred to the runtime. The runtime is actually the exe file. The file you double click karte ho, that double clicking is actually the runtime. So understanding this difference, content creation and the runtime are two separate things. So understanding this will allow you to understand the further concepts in a little bit better manner. So let's look at the internals of a game now. So what is real time? Games are real time software. It's defined by a lot of websites, or a lot of people tend to say real time, real time. What is real time exactly? Let's compare games and animation films. Here, this is one of the problems in the Indian scenario, where animation and games are always clubbed together. Animation and gaming, animation and gaming, animation and gaming. These are completely different fields. Try to understand that basic difference. Very, very different, and therefore, if you are a person who wants to do games, then the way you need to think about it has to be completely different. So let's try and look at the differences. Animation films, they are non-real time, meaning they are pre-rendered. What does that mean? You have your Max or Maya scene that you define. All your characters are defined, level defined. Say something like Toy Story or any of these Pixar movies. You have all the characters, everything, big eyes, lots of motion happening. All of that is animated beforehand. And what happens actually to get that quality is that each frame, so ek frame on the screen takes almost 3 hours to render. So you can imagine, if it's a 2-hour long movie, how much time is it actually going to spend to simply create frames? And you need 30 frames for it to look smooth, 24 frames. So that makes the whole thing it's a completely different process where you're pre-rendering things. Again, what this means is that this is non-interactive. While the movie is playing, I cannot click, I cannot interact with the movie. Okay, so एक बार हो गया movie ready, that's it. You just watch it, you can't do anything. Games are real time. There's constant interaction. You have your game controllers, you have your sound, everything is actually giving you information out of the game, and through your controllers you're putting some information back into the game. And based on that input, your next frame is defined. If I'm looking at the camera here and I press right, the camera turns here. Now I have to show this side and not this side. So this is based on the input. So real time, and understand one very, very crucial difference. You're doing this 30 times in 1 second. So a lot of people ask, oh, why are games not so great in quality? Why are the graphics not so good? That is because you have to render that exact same frame 30 times in 1 second at least. As opposed to an animation movie which is taking 3 hours to render one frame. So now you understand the difference in what is actually required for a game to show good quality. So when you actually see games which look really good, you tend to appreciate it more. कि अरे बॉस इतना अच्छा किया, because you understand that getting all that data calculated in 30 times in 1 second is very, very difficult. So this crucial difference also means that your entire process of content creation, game programming, game design, everything is defined by this one factor. It is a real-time software. So programming wise, algorithms, these are the ways in which you would program. These are very, very different. So just to give you an example, say if you have to show hair in animation films, each strand is going to be modeled by hand, so it takes a lot of time. Whereas in games, you'd probably fake it. So you show like a bunch of strands together and all of them move at one time. Just to give you an example. So this concept of faking is crucial to games. Games are all about faking graphics, faking AI. Faking why? Because you do not have that much time or those many resources available at your disposal. Sure. So, basic difference between real time